Welcome to the Primetime Alberta Sports Show. Today is January 6, 2021. We made it through another year. Amazing enough. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest with us, Reese and Kim Derewianka. Reese plays ringette, and as most people don't know, ringette is a sport, and ringette does have a large following across Canada and the US and many other areas around the world. And we want to sit down and talk to them how COVID has affected them, what the training's been like this year, what they're looking forward to in 2021, if we're going to return to the ice. And Kim's going to be bashful about it, but she is one of the assistant coaches. So we want to get her input on how things have been going for these past 6 to 8 months. Today's show is brought to you by Caisse Sports Marketing. Sports marketing made simple. Sit there, stay down, and let's enjoy the show. Kim, Reese, good evening, guys. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining me on my first show of 2021. So honored to have both of you smiley people here today. How was Christmas? How was New Year's?
Pretty good.
Hey,
pretty good.
Happy to get rid of 2020.
Me too. I tell you, I was doing the countdown religiously. I was staring at it, going 10, 9, and then I woke up in the morning and I was like, I don't know if we've changed anything, but hopefully. So I'm so happy we're talking about ringette today. I've taken a few notes, so if I am looking down, I apologize. I am listening, but taking a few notes about ringette because I wanted to familiarize myself with it. And the one thing that I found is that it is actually a large sport across Canada and the US. Reese, when did you start playing ringette?
When I was about 4, maybe. So this is my 9th year going into it. I probably did the wrong math, but this is my 9th year playing.
Wow. And the one thing that I couldn't actually find, Kim, maybe let us know, when can you actually start playing ringette? I couldn't find that.
If you're ready to skate, you're ready to play. They have the first division is called Active Start, and basically it's anyone that wants to get out and play. They have learn the sport a couple times a year so people can come and try it out, see what it's like. And yeah, as long as you can put on a pair of skates and fit the equipment, you're eligible to play.
Can I play ringette?
Yes, you can.
Really?
Yeah.
Boys can play ringette.
I once had a boy in my team, but that was a while back.
Traditionally, when I started, it was just for girls, but it's definitely has, you don't see as many, and you see them more in the younger, and then as the older group. But it's great, and they anytime we played hockey teams, they've always kind of been in awe of the girls, and so maybe some of them come and tried it out too. So
wow. In one of my notes that actually, you know that, let's hold up here. Let's tell the audience where you guys play. Who do you play for? I know you guys are based out of Ardrossan somewhere, but who do you guys play for? No? Oh, no. I have to fire the producer.
SPRA, which stands for Sherwood Park Ringette Association.
Oh, wow. And do you guys, Reese, do you know how long that association has been around?
No. But...
Well, I've been playing for over 40 years for Sherwood Park, and it's a little bit longer than that. I'm not sure the exact how many years, but I started when I was in grade 1, and I'm much older now, so.
Oh, stop. You're only in your 20s, Kim.
Oh, yeah, sure. That's it. Well, playing for over 40 years, I think I'm over 20 now. But
So then ringette has really been part of Reese's life for a long time, and especially living out in northern Alberta where you guys do. She's grown up around the ice rink, and we have actually had her brother on the show, Maddox Derewianka, who is currently a student at Pilot Mound. Reese, I think a lot of people don't get, and just in my research, like ringette, you guys can be on the ice 3 to 4 days a week doing training and off ice. This is actually like you guys are like Olympic players. Like, can you explain some of the stuff that you guys do, like training wise? Like obviously it's not a stick. It's not like a hockey stick, but it's a stick and we play with a ring. Like I've managed to research that. But tell us what it's like. Like obviously this is tough on you young ladies.
Well, basically, you're right. It is a stick and a ring, but like there's grips on it, so you can actually control the ring and everything. And then on ice, like for practices and all that, we normally just practice drills, like plays that we're gonna do, and like setup. And like for the forwards and defense, they have different roles, so figure out where you belong, and then kind of work out with that. And then for kind of dry land and training and everything like that, we basically just do everything any other team would do just to get warmed up for like a game or get in shape for the season.
Now, you bring up training, and the one note that I made that I was able to find is, I've worded it, I might not have the wording correct, but you guys actually, the forwards start on the other side of the red line.
Yeah.
From my notes, is that in? It's like there's a girl, and it's almost like a wrestling match to get the ring. Can you explain what that is?
It's not like hockey. There's not a face-off, so it's actually you get possession. So you got 5 seconds to get rid of the ring outside of whichever circle you're in, and
you're only allowed 3 in from each team.
Wow.
Sorry, in each ringette zone, like from the ringette zone to the end zone.
So there, are there actually, like, it does say in the notes that there are forwards, there are defense, and there are goalies.
And a center.
Sorry?
And a center as well.
And a center. Oh. Yes, it does say center.
Yeah.
So my understanding of the game, obviously it's to score goals. You're putting the ring in the net, but this is much tougher than actually playing hockey, where it's just a puck and we're shooting the puck into the net. I'm blown away that we don't talk about this sport more, because it's actually up there in the standings of one of the girls' most played sports. So Reese, what position are you, and what do you like, I guess, most about it?
Well, I'm forward, but I do change positions every now and then if my team needs it, because I know how to play every sport because my mom plays defense, so kind of grew up knowing that, and then I just know how to play center, but I am forward. And I really like that position because I get to skate around, I get to check girls and everything, I get to really work.
Sorry, you just said check girls?
Yeah.
Like body checking?
Not body check. That's illegal in this game, sadly.
Oh, I was like, I should sign my daughter up for this. She loves hitting.
I mean, you can, but then you'll get a penalty.
And are the penalties the same as hockey, Reese? Is it 2 minutes?
Yeah. And
how many times have you been in the box?
Unless you get nasty, then it's 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Reese, how many times have you been in the penalty box?
I don't know. It's been quite a few times, but
quite a few times. So as a forward, then, just looking at the little diagram that I've drew, you would start. So you would start on this side of the red line. There would be the center who's trying to push the ring up to you, and your defense are pretty much on the circle as well as that. Am I correct in understanding that?
Well, it really depends on what your setup play is, but normally that's what it would be. That's the first kind of setup that you would learn when playing Ringette.
And how fast? Like I did watch some games, Reese, but your brother thinks he's fast. But how fast is this, Reese? Like, are we, just so our audience can understand, are we doing like hockey where it's like a 30-second shift and you come off, or is it more like lacrosse where there's an offense and a defensive style play?
Well, it's a little bit of both. there is a lot of skating, and you have to have a really good stamina and endurance, and like you need to have a lot of energy. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot more difficult to make it across the ice and to work as hard as you can to get the ring back, or even just to get down into their zone and then just have a chance to score. But yeah, there's the defense. They follow you all the way up to the ringette line, and then the forward and the center, they go in and they try and set up a play and to try and score.
Wow. Reese, sit right there. Kim, sit right there. We'll be right back. We got to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Before we went to commercial break, you were explaining about the positions and how everyone is moving forward. I'm assuming having a ring, you're basically shooting your ring at a goalie. Have you played hockey? Have you tried hockey?
Well, I haven't played in a league or anything, but I have kind of battled against my brothers and my dad, because I mean it is quite a bit of fun to just kind of step out of your comfort zone and learn new skills from a different sport. Mm-hmm. And yeah.
So would you say that ringette is harder or easier than hockey, or vice versa?
Well, I don't know. It's kind of, they're basically the same, but it depends on like what the kind of situation is. Like if you're talking about skating, then it'd be ringette. If you're talking about teamwork, it'd be a little bit more towards hockey, because you always have to be passing the puck. So it really just varies on like what you're kind of talking about.
So where I was leading with this question is when you being a forward and you're bringing it in, reading my notes, and I think we should actually put this in hockey. There's a second clock or a countdown clock. Could you explain this clock to me?
Well, that's called the shot clock. You have 30 seconds with the ring. If it runs out, then it gets passed over to the other team, and then they have a chance to actually take the ring if they don't get it during the 30 seconds. So
then you have 30 seconds to shoot the puck at the goalie and try to score.
The ring, yeah.
I think we should teach your brother this sport. Maybe he would get better at shooting. So 30 seconds to shoot. And leading to my question, do you find it, because you've tried the hockey thing, you played against your brother, do you find it easier to shoot the ring or shoot the puck?
The ring, because you have a little bit more control, and on the stick you have a bunch of grooves at the end. So it's harder to take like a wrist shot or like a shovel shot or even just a really hard pass on the ice, because then you have more control and you can like lead to where it will go.
And I'm assuming that being a ring, does it hurt if you get hit by the ring?
It depends if you hit yourself like where there's no padding or where there's less of it, but yes, it sometimes hurts, but it sometimes doesn't.
Huh. Wow. I'm blown away that we haven't actually talked about the sport more. Because it does seem, Kim, like obviously if you've played for so many years and just being 20 years old, and Reese is really only like 5.
Yeah.
So when you grew up, Kim, in the area that you grew up and you played this sport, was it the big thing when you grew up for girls, or did you notice that it was kind of a split?
It was just still being introduced. I was in grade 1. I got a letter sent home as a student there saying, come try this sport. Didn't really know too much about it. And I just fell in love with it. And it has progressed so much. Like we had, it was limited zones. And then we ended up having the ringette line. And then we had anybody can go in either end, like, it has changed so much since I started. and it has definitely become a lot more popular. I got to say, though, I think as soon as ladies hockey started getting to the Olympics and such, some girls switched over to hockey, and that's fine as well. But, ringette players are quite often sought after from the hockey coaches because of our skills and on the ice, the quick speed and the teamwork, because we have to pass over the blue lines, so we have to work together as a team.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. Like I in my research and my producer's research, we did watch some video of Ringette. It's definitely a passing game, definitely a team game, and it almost involves, I wouldn't say everyone on the ice, but it involves pretty much everyone on the ice that's moving forward. I did notice that a lot of times when they got to the blue line, there is like an offside style rule where the ring is passed. Can you explain that to me?
Pass. Yeah, you can't pass it from one end to the other, and your team cannot pick it up. The other team has to pick it up, so that would kind of be the offside. But you can have someone sitting right in front of the net, and as long as the ring is passed over the blue line twice, you can pick it up, turn around, and shoot. So
you as a coach, Kim, have you noticed more girls trying this sport than making the transition over to hockey? Or are you noticing that, because now, like, obviously during COVID, it may be different, but can you play both? Like, can I register for Ringette, play Ringette, and get that training because I'll get stronger and faster, and then go to my hockey game and get that practice in? Like, are you noticing girls are doing that?
Just time-wise, I don't see it very often. Perhaps maybe the younger ages can do that, but with the way that how dry land and fitness, everything else is tied into on-ice practices, it's pretty tough because you're trying to keep up with schoolwork and things like that too, that to play both sports would be kind of difficult. So I would say that, the girls that played Ringette to either go to hockey, maybe come back, but it's kind of like school sports and Ringette and hockey, you kind of have to pick and choose what you want to do. And I did growing up, like if I wanted to play Ringette, I couldn't play basketball in school. So and the time commitment for these kids now, it's so much higher than it was back when I was younger.
Yeah, and one of the notes that we found, there are so many more tournaments now for Ringette than there was, maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago. Like there's Westerns, there's Easterns, there's Provincials, there's just many tournaments that groups and organizations run. But this is obviously growing across the world. Reese, have you been exposed to other players across the world or across the country?
I don't remember everyone, but most people are from around Canada or mainly from Alberta. But I think I have had a few people from like the US or something like that.
So Kim, you as one of the assistant coaches of Reese's current team, what was on the plans for this season? Obviously, we've now, due to the lockdown again, we're still missing some excitement, but what was on the radar for this season for these young ladies?
Well, basically, it's just always trying to learn and feed off of what they've learned in the past. We had a great start. We did get some games in beforehand, and ultimately for these guys in their division and age group, it's Provincials is the end goal. And Reese's have made it to Provincials for 3 years now. Unfortunately, this past March, they didn't get to go to compete because of COVID. But it's a great tournament. It's a great accomplishment to reach that. And for Sherwood Park, actually, quite often we've had two teams make it to Provincials in the last few years. So that's generally our goal. But as long as we can say that, hey, they've learned something and maybe they're a little bit better than they were at the beginning, then ultimately that's the best thing we can ask for. Mm-hmm. And they have a lot of fun, of course. Yeah.
Girls, just give us a minute here. We got to take another quick commercial break. And I got a few questions about that. We'll be right back. went to commercial break, Kim was answering our question about tournaments and provincials, et cetera, and what was happening this season. And obviously, Reese, congratulations being on the, it was Alberta, correct? Alberta provincial team for the last 3 years in a row. Way to go, buddy. Good job. Better than your brother. Kim, as you were growing up, obviously having your daughter and Maddox, are you happy that Reese is? Are you happy that Reese is somewhat following in your footsteps in wanting to play ringette?
Absolutely. She took to skating right away, faster even than the two boys, and the fact that she just wanted to follow what I was doing, I was ecstatic about it, and I've been involved and on the ice with her ever since active start. So she's been on the ice, I've been on. I've tried to get out to keep reeling me back in and give her space, but yeah, and she right now she has no desire to switch to hockey. So for that, I'm happy. But if she wants to go to hockey, I'll support her too. I mean, I got 3 kids in the arenas, normally every day, and it's fantastic. It's part of our life here in the Derewianka house.
So, Reese, you growing up with the 2 brothers, now that your mom's brought it up that she has 2 sons, and we all know that ringette is obviously better than hockey, because it's now been proven as I've now read about it. Are you, what's the way to put this? Are you, like, have you looked at your future moving forward, Reese, to see what's out there for ringette players?
Definitely, yeah. Like, I really think that they can make it into something a lot bigger. Like, they can make it into a national sport like hockey and football and everything like that. But yeah, I really do see it growing in the future, and I see myself in it as well.
The one thing that we did do during our research is we did note that there are a few NCAA schools down in the States that do have ringette teams, and it's a small little league that they play. Is that something that you think you'd be interested in, Reese, actually playing at the college or university level?
Yeah, definitely. As long as I can play ringette and major in what I want to, then yeah, that would be amazing.
Kim, did they have that back in your day? Still, again, you're 20 years old, but did they have that back? Was that an option for you as you were going through college or university?
No. I mean, like even the University of Alberta there, I can't even remember when their team started, but it was certainly past my point. Yeah. We had world championships and so it's that part has developed, but not as far as for schooling being involved in it. So it's great to see. I mean, I know there was originally talk about it possibly being the Olympics, but still not yet anyway. Yeah. But I mean, if it's something like that, I think it could help bring more recognition to the sport as well.
I'm sorry, guys. I think we just had technical difficulties.
No worries. We're here.
That was weird. So we were talking about university and colleges. I caught some of that, Kim. Apologies for that. I have no idea what happened. The one thing I wanted to ask you, Kim, is do you think there could be more that Ringette Canada and even, BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, and Quebec could be doing to push this sport to a larger audience?
Well, like I mentioned, they do have world championships, as well as nationals, which is great. But of course, it's something that it can always keep promoting. And as long as the numbers stay up as far as people wanting to play and be involved, I think it's great. And they're trying to keep people involved in the sport as long as they can. And I really hope that they do, because it's such a great team sport, and that's the best way to describe it, is that it's you have to work together just like any other team, but physically in the game you have to work together. You can't break away from one end to the other. So for them to kind of recognize that, try and get more people out there, I think would be wonderful.
Now, the one thing I want to bring us back to is Reese brought up that there's checking in the game. The one thing that I did note is they're seeing the girls, even in hockey, all girls sports, I'll just say it, there seems to be more aggression in the girls sports.
Definitely.
So is that something that as coaches you guys are trying to tame to encourage them to use their words and not beat the crap out of each other? Like, is it, because I did notice on one of the tapes, like it's violent. It's not like hockey. Like, these girls are literally doing like 100 miles an hour down the ice to get to the ring, and they're literally pushing each other out of the way. Like, what as coaches are you, Reese is smiling. Yeah. So what as coaches are you guys doing to train for that aspect of the sport?
Well, you know what? We kind of call it aggressiveness more than anything. Like, there's certainly that border of, being aggressive, being strong, going hard, and then there's being dirty, right? And as the girls get older, I mean, it gets a little bit dirtier here and there. But for the most part, I mean, we just kind of tell them, that's your ring. You go get it. And you know what? It's when we're doing our practices and our drills and such, we try to show them, okay, you could be aggressive, and you could be strong, and you could still get the ring without getting the penalty. And sometimes we do get called. I mean, it happens. And sometimes if they take it a little bit too far, as always. But for the most part, we want them to be working hard and to see their smile on their face when they come onto the bench and say, yeah, I got it. I skated hard. I got the ring, made the pass. We got the goal, or, we just got it out of our end. I mean, that's the best thing we can ever ask for.
Yeah. Obviously the differences between the sports, the boys seem to be more focused on, the NHL in getting there. The girls seem to be more focused about the game itself and the career that it could lead to, either be it going to college or university. So with that said, Reese, what are you looking most forward? Like, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys are 14 now?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
How old are you?
I'm 13, sorry.
Just turned 13.
Sorry.
Reese, when you're 13, you got obviously a few more years left, but what are you looking forward to for college-wise? Like, have you looked at what you want to do when you grow up?
Yeah, I want to be an interior designer.
Oh, wow.
Because I really like designing things, and I've been told a couple times by this person here that I do have pretty good style, so I appreciate that, and I also do really like designing things and arranging and creating stuff.
But she does love being active. Like, she plays soccer in the summer and this, so I think I foresee her doing some sort of sport in university or college, wherever she ends up going as well. And I hope she does keep it going.
I hope there's Ringette.
Yeah. Well, Reese, I'm telling you, there are some NCAA, and I do believe youth sport. There are a few youth sports that we did our research that do have Ringette team. Reese, what's your favorite thing that you look forward to about being with your team? Because obviously, well, you answer that first. What's your favorite thing about being with your team?
Well, it's basically just the bond, because as soon as you're on a team, like, you're basically stuck with them. They become your family, and like, you just have a really good bond. And whenever you see them, you're usually excited and you're happy to see them, and you just wish that you had a practice or a game every day just to be with them.
Okay, girls, we got to have a commercial break here real quick because somebody's got to pay the bills, and I'm certainly not going to do it. So give us 2 seconds. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for a career in the salon industry? Check out Aveda Institute Winnipeg in the Exchange. What sets us apart is our student mentorship program, 95% placement rate after graduation, real-world salon experience, and network of 7,000 salons and spas. You will learn creative cut and coloring, latest trends and techniques, social media marketing, fashion shows, photo shoots, and more. Now accepting applications for 2018, so check us out and book your tour today. Aveda Institute Winnipeg. Hair school the way it should be.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our viewers around Canada and the world. We have Reese and Kimberly Derewianka with us this evening. We're talking about Ringette, and just the sport itself has grown from our research that we've looked at, and we wanted to get these two lovely ladies on to talk to us about it. And Reese, just before we went to commercial, we were talking about what your favorite thing is about it. And the one thing that I've noted is even on girls hockey teams and a lot of girls sports, it seems to be the camaraderie and the friendships that are built. So with that said, are you missing that this year by not being on the ice and not being with your teammates? Is that something that's crossed your mind? And obviously it's upsetting because you're stuck at home with your brothers, but.
Yeah, it's really, it definitely is upsetting that I don't get to see them because I am actually playing on a team with my cousin, so that creates our bond a lot tighter as well. And I also really like my Ringette team because we do get along very well. We've won every game so far, but we have only played 6, sadly. But yeah, like we work together well, and I just love being around them.
Kim, being part of the coaching team, obviously it's stressful on you guys right now having to remap your training program, your off ice, on ice. Could you maybe share with our viewers what you guys have been doing as a coaching team to try to keep these girls' spirits high during this time?
Oh, for sure. Well, as the restrictions got worse and worse, we had to adjust. We did some dry land sessions outside when we could still do that. And ever since since that's been lost, we've been doing dry land training, usually once a week, a little bit of breakthrough over Christmas. And they've done great. I mean, the other coaches here, Shelley and Kelly, have been wonderful. They have different routines for them. That's, there's planks, there's wall sits, all that sort of thing. We had one session where we did a scavenger hunt. Session. So if you could bring the item back first, then you got to sit out that round, and while everyone else was doing their 3 different things, sort of things. So the kids really love that. Even got them outside in their equipment, doing snow angels and eating chocolate chips. So I mean, really can't go wrong there. And we did a gingerbread building house through Zoom, and actually a lot of the teams through Sherwood Park Ringette did that as well. And even did a food drive for the year. Yeah, but we delivered the gingerbread houses to their places, so they could eat at their home. We collected food, and our team did a few hundreds of dollars of food out, and we approached other teams to do it as well. And so Sherwood Park Ringette actually did a great job at combining our efforts for a good cause as well.
Kim, could you maybe share with us how many girls are currently registered with Sherwood Park Ringette?
No. I'm not sure right now, but I mean, like with Reese's division we've got 5 teams this year, which is a great set of numbers for us. The numbers keep going up, and it's something that, because we do the come and try Ringette sessions, I think we are getting a few more players every year, and then it's just then you get people like me that just can't stop playing. So you got the young ones, the older ones, and everyone in between. So
that's so awesome to hear that you guys have been able to work through this pandemic and keep the girls happy. Reese looked very, very happy that she's still being involved with the team.
She did.
Reese, what's one of your fondest memories of even if there was one this year, but one of your fondest memories of a tournament or anything this year? Do you have one that you could share with our viewers?
Well, I really liked having the provincials from the twice that we've actually gone, because I don't know what about it is that I like, but whenever we go away to hotels and all that, sorry, I keep saying that a lot. I really just like spending time with my team, because we get to go out and eat special dinners, we get to wake up together, and we get to eat breakfast and swimming, and like I even got this hoodie from one of them. I think this was last year, and so yeah, we usually get a lot of cool stuff, and I just really like going to it.
So, you brought up food. I like food. Can you share with us your favorite pre-game meal food?
Probably just pasta, or like any kind of pasta, really.
Any kind of pasta. And who's a better cook, your mom or your dad?
Definitely my mom. My dad cooks two things all the time. She changes it up a bit.
Oh, so he's okay. I won't even touch that.
Grilled cheese with dad, right?
Yeah. Or potato.
Grilled cheese?
Potato skins, yeah.
I'll make sure I show this tape to him before we air it. So, Reese, what are you looking most forward to come here in the coming weeks? Because our lockdown will hopefully be lifted in a couple days here. So, what are you most looking forward to, if you want to share that with the group?
Well, I really want to just go out and do things that I couldn't really do ever since the lockdown. Like, I want to go see my friends, and I want to go do fun activities. Like, I want to go on to an actual rink, maybe not an outdoor one necessarily, but like even just an inside one. So I get back the feeling of being on a ringette or hockey rink, and just getting back in the mood.
Now, a few weeks back, we did have your brother on one of our Christmas Eve specials, and we do know that he's been away at Pilot Mound, which is a long, long way away. And unfortunately, he found his way back home. And I understand through our great detective work that your father built you guys a rink in the backyard. Have you been utilizing this rink and shooting rings at your brother's head?
I'm not going to comment on that.
Okay.
Walking on the rink, though, we got to say that.
And we did pretty good on it.
Yeah, we built it. They said if you build it, he will come, and Maddox did come home. So.
Why'd you guys build it, Reese? I would have left him out there. He was getting 3 meals a day. He was good. He had a bed. So, Kim, what are you looking most forward to here? Again, crossing our fingers that we get to go back on the ice. Will there be any, hopefully, if everything gets lifted, will you guys be able to return to the ice, perhaps get a few games in, get a few tournaments in? Have you guys been able to talk about that? Is an organization, I know you can't speak on behalf of Sherwood Park Ringette, but has this been in talks? Like, are you guys hoping that we'll be able to get back out there?
Well, we've been told, I think it's almost 2 months ago now, that there will not be any provincials or nationals or westerns this year. And I think we kind of knew that going in. As far as for tournaments, I don't think so, because I can't see that all those restrictions changing a whole lot. Like the games that we did get in was with the same team, and it was just, 3 games home, 3 games away, and that was it. So but my guess would be is that we're going to do the same thing. We'll find another team, do the 6 weeks, have 2 weeks of practice. And you know what, honestly, if we can do that and get something out of this season, we'll be happy for that. The girls, they work hard, and, and just like anyone else, you work hard, in practice, you always want to play a game. And so we're hoping that it can go that way. Maybe we might extend the season a bit. I'm not sure. Just like I said, fingers crossed for something.
I totally hope we get back out there. Girls, just bear with me for a sec. Got to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Okay.
before we went to commercial break, we were just asking Kim and Reese about hopefully the return to play and being able to get back out there. And we did hear the same things, that even in hockey, soccer, there probably isn't going to be much happening, probably just a few games against each other and going that route. That's a real bummer, to be honest. But what can you do? We got to try to be safe and get out there, wash our hands, wear our mask, and try to stay in our little bubble. The one thing I wanted to ask you, Reese, maybe your mom can nudge you with this. Are grades important to a ringette player?
I personally think so, because like you've asked me if I want to get into like a good college or something like that that has ringette involved in it, then I definitely think that grades are important. It's also just like Maddox, he had to have good grades in order to move away to go to a good academy and be able to pursue his hockey career.
Reese, would you like to see, just personally talking to you right now, would you like to see a league put together that is similar to the Canadian Sports School Hockey League, where we have at the Canadian Sports School Ringette League, where you as a ringette player could go away and be trained and play games?
Yeah, I would really like that.
Yeah, you should talk to your dad. I hear he has lots of money. He can probably build one. I would agree with you, Reese. I would like to see something like that. Kim, what would your input be into that? Would you, obviously you would be a supporter of that. What would you, if you could, Kim, if you were on the board of the Canadian Ringette Board, would you bring this to their attention and say, look, we have all of these girls, why are we not doing the same? Would you bring that up?
I think it would be a great idea for sure. I mean, you have to kind of look at the caliber of each of the different associations and provinces, that sort of thing, and engage the interest in that as well. I think it'd be a wonderful idea. It's something that, you know, there is the AA program, which kind of gets you to get to a higher level. So, but that is locally run as well. Whereas if you have the academy, you get, you know, girls from all over the places that get together and learn. And I think it'd be a great idea. I can't see it happening just yet, but you know what? If they start talking about it, get the information out there. You never know. We can keep our fingers crossed for that too.
Well, I hope with our show tonight that someone is sparked by this and is able to bring it to whoever's attention out there to maybe suggest maybe this is something we look at. You know, obviously we have the means. It's already in place. We have the Canadian Sports School League out there. Maybe it's something they would look at and expanding their league and involving more females in a sport that is designed for them. And again, reading the notes, like, the girls can skate much faster. Their passes are much crisper. It's end-to-end action. There's more shots because of the shot clock. It even says that most girls that compete in this sport move on to higher end jobs because of their commitment to the sport. So there's obviously something behind it, Kim. And without sharing everything about your family, I do know that you guys are owners of a company, and like, obviously it shows that the dedication that's in this, and with just Reese's mindset, you know, I want to be an interior designer, that's a feat in its own. So obviously it's working. Share with us the possibility of when there may be another try ringette.
Oh, you know what? I mean, with the way this year is, you know, maybe it's something that they're going to try again. Usually it's in late summer, you know, early fall sort of thing before the tryouts and such begin. So maybe with COVID though, as soon as we even have access to ice, I think they might try it again. And I think it's a great idea to get it back in the minds of the kids out there.
Well, I hope that everybody does gives this sport a look, and I hope that they have enjoyed our show today. Girls, thank you so much for joining us, and all the best for the rest of the season. I hope you guys get back on the ice.
Thank you.
And I hope everything works out. Girls, stay right there. We'll be right back with you guys. Everyone, thanks so much for joining us on our first show of 2021. So excited to have these two guests on. I think we want to touch base with them more often and try to reach out more to the ringette family. Such an interesting sport. With some of it, you'd think that hockey would adapt to it. It would be great to see a second clock or a 30-second clock put up, and maybe we'll see more shots. Anyhow, give us your feedback on today's show. Feel free to email us or even text us or reach out on Facebook and let us know your thoughts about ringette. Thanks so much for joining us. It was so great to have you guys back on our first show of the season, and we look forward to having you guys follow us throughout the rest of the year. Bye for now.